Hi guys, this is Mrs. Cerami. Welcome back from Easter and spring break. I hope you're revved up for the next set of lessons as I'm looking forward to teaching you guys, even if it's just online. I'm going to break 4.10 up over 3 days before we graphed a quadratic equation from an equation. And now we're going to write the equation from a graph. So you did that in Algebra 1 with lines, and now we're going to do that with quadratics in Algebra 2. There are 3 different forms that we have here. We have standard form, vertex form, and intercept form. And today we're just going to focus on vertex form. So just as a reminder, what vertex form is y equals a times x minus h quantity squared plus k, where h and k is the vertex. That's why they call it vertex form. You can pick out the vertex just by looking at this. So we're going to write an equation from a graph as well as from information today. So from a graph, looking at this one here, first step I would do is find the vertex. And then after you find the vertex, I would write out the general form, x minus h quantity squared plus k. So we know the vertex here, we could see it as 2, -1. So this is my h, and this is my k. So we're going to rewrite this, and a is actually in front here. So we're going to write it as y equals a times x minus 2 quantity squared minus 1. It's always minus whatever that equals. And now we need to find our a. In order to find our a, we need to substitute a point on the graph with x and y. So find one nice point, like this looks like a nice point right here, and this point is 3, -2, and this is my x and this is my y. So any point on the parabola will be your x and y. Substitute that in, so -2 equals a times 3 minus 2 squared minus 1. -2 equals a times 1 squared minus 1. So this is going to be -2 equals 1 squared is 1, a minus 1. So a is going to equal -1 because I added 1 to both sides. So now we have our h, we have our k, and we have our a. So my final equation, I'll put it up here, is going to be y equals -1, we don't have to put a 1 there, times x minus 2 squared minus 1. So that's my final answer. So in order to get this, you have to find your h and k, you got to find your a, and then you got to substitute back in. So here, again, the general form is y equals a times x minus h squared plus k, and my vertex is -3, -3. Put that in for h and k, so you have y equals a times x minus a -3 squared minus 3. So that's really y equals a times x plus 3 squared minus 3. Now we have to solve for a. Pick any point on the graph. This looks nice. Nice integer. And this is -5, 5. Plug that in. So this is my x, and that's my y. So we're going to have 5 equals a times -5 plus 3 squared minus 3. 5 equals a times -2 squared minus 3. Order of operations is that you have to square it first. So -2 squared is 4. So 5 equals 4a minus 3. And you're going to add 3 to both sides. 8 equals 4a. A equals 2. So we have my a. We have our h and k. So now we can write our final answer as y equals 2 times x plus 3 squared minus 3, because it's x minus a -3. That's our final answer right there. Okay, so you could do that with a graph, which you'll do in your homework, and you can also do with information. And here's the answer if you want to try it again. So again, steps, write out the general form. Y equals A times X minus H squared plus K. Then substitute the value of H and K in. Find a point and substitute X and Y, solve for A, and then rewrite it. So that's exactly what I modeled before. You can also write the equation with no graph. So it's the same steps, guys. Nothing has changed. First step is to write out the general form. Y equals A times X minus H quantity squared plus K. This is my H and this is my K. The general point is my X and Y. So you want to label everything. We know we want to solve for A, so I would just substitute everything in as you can. So my Y is 4. My A we don't know. We're solving for it. My X is negative 4 minus a negative 2 squared, and K is 4, minus 4. So order of op tells us that we have to simplify inside here first. Negative 4 plus 2 is a negative 2 squared. Square the negative 2. 4 equals, negative 2 squared is 4, so it'll be 4a minus 4. Add 4 to both sides. 8 equals 4a. A equals 2 rather, sorry. So we found our A. We know our H and K, so now we just write the equation. Y equals 2 times X minus H, so it'll be plus 2 minus the negative 2 squared minus 4. Let's do it again. Write out the general formula. Y equals A times X minus H squared plus K. This is my H, this is my K. This is my X, and that's my Y. So substitute what you know in to solve for A. And we're going to have 2 minus 4 squared plus 1. Negative 3 equals A times negative 2 squared plus 1. Negative 3 equals 4A plus 1. Solve algebraically back to algebra 1. Subtract 1. And then A equals negative 1. So we have our A and we have our H and K. Rewrite the formula. Y equals negative 1, which is just negative. If you put a 1 there, that's fine. X minus 4 squared plus 1. Again, if you put a 1 there, I wouldn't take off for that. Okay, so today we're going to be writing vertex form, and then tomorrow we'll write the intercept form, and then we'll write the standard form. So we're going to be doing one form a day, and the answers are here. All right, guys, any questions, you can email me from 9 to 4. Your homework looks exactly like this. Have a good day.